Yo, happy Mario Day. What? 10 a.m.? Dude, Headless is usually sleeping still. But it's Mario Day. We got the cereal, we got the coffee, and we got a tier ranking to do. And we have somebody behind me that's going to come on right now. And that's Poppin'. And that's actually Luigi.
What is up, guys?
Brother?
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Not much.
All right, so we were talking backstage, and Poppin's only played like 3 Mario games.
Yep, I have played the original 3, Mario 1, 2, and 3. And then Duck Hunt, if that counts.
Well, I don't know. Mario's not really in that, so probably not.
No, but it's on the same. You can get Super Mario Duck Hunt. So
it is true. Well, it was tricky because for the tier ranking, so there's one game that came out like I don't know, maybe like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. I don't know. It was Bowser's Fury and like Super Mario Deluxe or something. I can't remember, but it was like a split game. It was like it came with 2. And we'll dive a little deeper into that because since you never played it, it's actually a really good game, but there's definitely some issues with it because being 2 games, it's like they just made them way too short because they're not hard to beat. I mean, Bowser's Fury is a fun little game. It's more of a I guess. So you never played Mario 64?
Nope, I never had a 64.
Oh my gosh, dude, Mario 64 is so good. But it was like that.
I had the original Nintendo, and then Super Nintendo, and then PlayStation, and now Xbox. I never, and I had the PlayStation 1. I never had anything past that. I didn't have the 2, 3, 4, 5. No.
So you never had a Wii or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay. Well, like Mario 64 was like the first game that was basically like open, kind of like what we consider open world now, where like you can just basically go where you want, do what you want, and it wasn't side scrolling. So it was like things Fortnite. You just run around wherever you want. Yeah. Obviously, there's borders, which is a little bit different than. I mean, I guess there's still technically there's borders everywhere in every game, but
yeah.
But yeah, that was like the first game that kind of did all that stuff, which was always really cool. So, yeah. And do you know why it's Mario Day? Do you know why?
Why? Because this is the day that they unplugged the sewers and let the Ninja Turtles out of New York City.
That was a really good guess, actually.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's wrong.
Oh man!
But
we're the shot. Okay.
Yeah. So in the chat, I'm gonna write down why is Mario Day. You'll see why.
Now, a lot of people think Mario and Luigi are brothers, right?
They do.
Yeah.
I don't think they really are brothers, are they?
I think they're cousins, actually.
Yeah, it's like
something like that. I don't know.
Did you see the Mario movie?
Yeah.
They explained it in that a little bit. I think they're like more like cousins. Yeah. Which is kind of weird. Why was it called Mario Brothers then? Why is it not called Mario Cousins?
I don't know. Maybe Mario Brother. It just rolls off the tongue better than Mario Cousins. Maybe. I don't know.
Mario Cousins. The Cuz.
Yep. I don't know.
So if you look at the chat.
It wasn't a bad game. Yeah. I see it now. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's MAR and then 10. So
makes sense. That's
pretty much it. Yeah, I actually thought I was actually looking that up last night, and I'm like, why is it Mario Day? I'm like, I was thinking, well, maybe is this like when, like, so like before Nintendo came out, like it was, Super Mario Brothers was like when Luigi, or not Luigi, but it was like when all like the mushrooms and all that crazy stuff started happening. In the original Mario Brothers, it basically was just, I think it was 6 tubes. Or 6 pipes, and then it was Mario and Luigi, and I think it was like maybe just Goombas or maybe Koopas. I don't know, one of the two, maybe both. I don't know, but they would do. It was just like 6 lines with the pipes, and that's what the guys come out of. And basically, it's just you and your brother, and you're just basically jumping around trying to kill the things. And I think each time you had to like try to kill like 5 and then 6 and 7. I think it just kept building. Something like that. I remember, I think there's a version of that in like, I think it's Super Mario 3, if I remember correctly.
It probably is.
There's like a version of that you can play in that one game. So, but I don't know. All right, let's do this. Let's pull this tier ranking up.
Yeah, I really like the first three. I didn't like the second one as much as I did the other two. The second one was kind of for me.
The second one, you had Luigi with the crazy legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Luigi with the crazy legs, and then you also had Peach could float. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was actually really good. That was like a really helpful move back then. I mean,
I did play the Yoshi game. Doesn't he have his own game?
Yoshi Island or something, yeah.
Something like that.
See,
I think I played. I remember a little bit about that, but
I don't remember if I ever actually played that one. There's a few.
Once I got Nintendo, it was Mario Brothers and Tecmo Bowl football, RC Pro-Am.
Dude, how good was that game?
John Elway football. I thought I was big shit, and I was gonna beat Mom, and she went downstairs and just whooped me. At it. And then she still rubs that into this day. But and then Zelda came out, and that's what I was about. Zelda and Link.
Yeah,
had
Zelda.
The gold cartridges. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wish I still had those.
I know, right? Dude, if you had the original and it wasn't never opened, that's worth some money, man. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Like I want to know, well, who buys that? And like, I'm just not going to open this. Like, what in the world? Like, it's unbelievable that people, it really is unbelievable.
Especially back then. I mean, those games were like $50, $60, $80 a piece. I mean, they still are.
Yeah.
But back then, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now it still is today, but it's a little easier today than it was back then.
So. Like, I couldn't even imagine buying a game today and just be like, I'm gonna hang on to this for the next 30 years and just see what happens without and not open it. Like it's just nuts, dude, to even think about that.
Well, think about it though. We do the same thing with these. We're buying them and just sitting them on a shelf, most of them.
Yeah. But it's not like, but as an adult, I mean, even as a kid, it's like, they're not, I mean, I don't know how I mean, if I was a kid, how would you play with it? I mean, nothing moves, they're all just,
Yeah.
To tell a kid, if you just bought this new game with a gold cartridge, we're going to keep it in the box. We're not going to open it.
Yeah, we're not going to open it. You can't play with it. What? Definitely.
All right, so here are I came up with like the 9. Is this 19? I think it's 19 here. Now there's a few on here I have not played. So, we can kind of go in any order we want, really. But so this is the game right here. This is Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. So this was released a couple years ago. In this game, there was like two. I don't even know if I have this one. I don't think I have this anymore. I think I probably sold it after I beat it. But it's like 2 games. So the Bowser's Fury game, I thought was really fun. The problem is that neither game is long. So it's not like all these, it's not like some of these other titles here.
Yeah.
But basically in Bowser's Fury, it was kind of designed like kind of like Mario 64 in a way, where it was like kind of an open world, and it wasn't super huge, but it wasn't like layered. I guess is the best way to put it. It was pretty much all on one level, and if I remember correctly, there was some kind of boat you could use, because it was like a big ocean level, like a big ocean world, and the boat obviously let you get around. And basically what happened is every X amount of minutes, Bowser would release his fury, and it would just like turn everything in the fire. And basically, as you're trying to complete the game, this would happen every so often. And then throughout the game as well, like after you completed certain tasks, then you would have to do a battle with Bowser as well. And eventually then you beat him. But it was an interesting game. you know, it was fun. I thought it was fun, but and then Super Mario World 3D, and you never played Super Mario World either, huh? Because that would have been on Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
that was the one that like that
well,
was.
I did play that one.
Yeah, that was the one that first introduced Yoshi.
Yeah, because I remember riding Yoshi.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was the one where basically you would it was kind of like an outside map, and you move the character to like the different spots, and then the board. And that's kind of how most Marios are now, you know.
Yeah, you move from here, and once you beat that, you moved here and then here. And
nope.
Here. Yeah.
No, and in this version, again, it wasn't as large, but in this version, it was called 3D because you can go behind the screen, you can go in front of the screen. So you were playing the same version of the game, but you could just it was just more 3D, I guess. But it was okay. But so I mean, you never played it, but I would say, I mean, I thought it was a good game. I think it was better than average. So I'd probably stick it somewhere in that middle range. It was fine for what it was.
Yeah.
Again, the Bowser Fury part was the more fun part. You know, the other one, I mean, it's really interesting why they didn't just make it a longer game and just, you know, but I don't know. It's kind of weird that they split that one.
I wonder if they thought they wouldn't have enough calling to make Bowser his own game, so they threw it together with another one with a Mario, thinking that people will buy it for the Mario name and play the Bowser too.
Yeah,
you know, they didn't want to put out two.
Well, it's funny because Bowser's Fury, you're not playing Bowser, you're still playing Mario. They just called it that. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But that's a good point, actually. So I don't know.
Yeah, you see a lot of that nowadays. They tag team this with that just to get it out there, and then if that kind of goes over, maybe that character will have their own show or game or whatever.
Yeah. So. All right, so the next one on there is what we have. So this one is called Super Mario Deluxe, and this was on the, I don't know if it was on the Wii or it was either the Wii or the Switch. I think it's the Switch. I feel like I had this game. I think it was like the same game as Wii put out, the Wii, and then they just brought it to Switch. And what they ended up doing with this game is this was one of the first, I think it was the first game where you can play with 4 people. And I still have it, and I just kind of stopped playing it. And it's kind of annoying because if you try to play with other people, what happens is if let's say one person is really good, that you just leave the other people behind. And what happens is your little characters all float and follow the main person in bubbles, and you're literally not doing anything. It's weird. What I would like to see is them to do a Mario game like that, but kind of like in like Fortnite or Call of Duty, where if you play locally, you can have 4 separate boxes, and then maybe there's, you know, like in a lot of these games you collect coins, or you're trying to collect a star or something like that. So
yeah.
you just make it where each person can kind of go do their own thing and don't have to necessarily stick together. But then you also have different parts in the levels where you do need someone to come with you to be able to do something. You know, even if it's like, you know, like remember the little P switches where you had to step on the P switch, and sometimes something went unlock, or the blue coins would pop up or something like that. Yeah. So I don't know, but I mean, this game was not very good, and I guess there's a reason why I just completely stopped playing it, because it's not very good. So for me, this is probably one of the worst I've played. And most Mario games are really good.
Yeah.
But for me, I'd put that here just because it's really difficult to play. Now, it's a single player game. There's nothing new. You know, it's all, you know, you have a couple. I think that's the one. Is this the one with the I don't know. There's like a beaver, not a beaver. I don't know. He has different outfits every game, you know. I don't know if it's the frog one. I can't remember. It's been such a long time, but
I know Super Mario 3 is the raccoon, so.
Yeah, well, here, Super Mario 3 is right here. So here, I'll move this up here.
I see that.
We can talk about that one next.
No.
Yeah, so Super Mario 3, and this was like the last one for regular NES.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude. I mean, this game was awesome. I mean, this is kind of like the first. I think it was like the first. Was it the first game that had like the little map? Remember, you had to like go through the blocks, and then you had like the castle and the mushroom, and you just had to work your way through it.
I think so. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think how Super Mario 2 was now. It's been such a long time since I played that game.
It wasn't much different than 1, to be honest. It was just updated maps. It was different landscapes and stuff.
And you were able to play Luigi and Peach as well. And I think Toad too. Remember, Toad has superpowers.
Yeah.
He could pick up the fruit real fast. That's right. In that game, you could pick up the fruit and stuff. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah. Yeah, they added little things in. I would say 3 is a step above everything else, of course. You know.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Because, you know, they made their money off the first one and got everybody hooked, and then they could just improve on it, which is what they should do.
I remember 3.
Keep putting them out, you know.
I remember in 3, that was the one where I think for the first time you could play behind the scene, where you could jump up on what is it was like a white, I don't know what you would call it, like a white hill or white, yeah, I guess a hill, but you would jump on the white part and you hold down and your character would drop behind the scene, like that. It was almost like 3D, and then you would have to like complete some of the levels like that. I remember that. That was like the first game that did that.
Yeah.
So where'd you put that at?
I would have to personally. I would put that at Epic myself. I really liked that one. I liked that one more than the other ones I played, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. I would even have Borderline Legendary because it's changed. It's kind of changed the way that Mario is being played now.
Yeah, it added more. It added more depth to it, for sure. For sure.
It was the first time that he got the raccoon. And I mean, think about it. If that raccoon thing doesn't happen, then dude, there's so many other like now in Mario Wonder, you become an elephant. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Elephant's huge. Love it. So the next one is Super Mario Galaxy. So you said you never played this one.
I've heard about it, but I've never played it. No.
Yeah. So the first Galaxy game, the way it was designed, what's the best way to put this? So it was very similar to like your Super Mario World or your Super Mario 3, where you would have to go to the levels and then you click it, right? The difference here is this was made on Wii, so the graphics are obviously much better, and the mechanics became much better. But the way it worked was most of the levels were like a sphere, and when you're running around it, you're running around each planet, and then around that planet, that's when you have to do whatever you have to do. And I can't remember the exact, I don't know if it's coins or stars or whoever knows, whatever you were collecting. But that's basically how the game worked. And you just had to go around the planet. But again, so it was like that, it was that third person view, and you see your character running and going around the circles, and then gravity kept you on. And obviously there was a lot of crazy stuff that, in the game as well. And then the boss fights were like on a circle or like on a sphere, and you had to like run around the whole thing. And I thought it was a really good game. It was a really neat concept. It was something completely different. I liked that game. I thought it was one of the more fun games. I mean, for me, I would say that would probably be Epic, because I thought it just changed the way you play. It wasn't the same Mario. It wasn't side-scrolling Mario. You're just jumping on guys. This was a lot different.
It was a predecessor to what we have now, basically.
It was, yeah. Well, the next one you probably play. You play Super Mario Kart or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one super. So I put this all together. There's so many Super Marios, So I put all the Super Mario Karts together. Is basically just one big thing. And again, thinking back to when the first one came out, it's just it's so funny to think back. I mean, I think if it wasn't Nintendo, it was Super Nintendo. The first Mario. I don't remember now, but
I think it was Super Nintendo. I don't think there was a Nintendo Mario Kart. I don't think
because like you mentioned earlier, RC Pro-Am, like that was I feel like that was like the big racing car game on NES. And yeah, I mean think because what else was there? Like Rad, I remember Rad Racer.
Yeah. Days of Thunder.
That was on Nintendo?
I think there was a Days of Thunder Nintendo game. I think it was like so choppy that the cars were blocks. You went around the track and you would just glitch, all the way around the track, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Good times. I think I'm gonna look it up. I don't remember now.
Yeah. I think you're right though. I think the first Mario Kart was probably on Super Nintendo. I don't think NES could have handled that type of game because I mean there's a lot of action going on. Even with the whole driving, and then I think even back then I think you were able to use that little skid or wherever they get the drift.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's just crazy to think about that original game and how they've redesigned these maps for the for the newer systems. And what I find interesting, dude, is that why is it that Nintendo refuses to make their system like I don't know what the correct word is, but it's powerful is like PS5 and Xbox. Like why do they always seem to be like even all the Mario games? No one talks. There's little sounds, and I mean, it's got to be done on purpose, I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say maybe Xbox and PlayStation, from what I've noticed, and people know I just recently got back into playing a little bit of video games.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Xbox and PlayStation stuff is geared more towards adults, where your Nintendo stuff is more geared toward kids. Not geared towards kids because adults play it, but they're, maybe that's why. I don't know. They're still going to get their $80. They don't want to put that much work into it sometimes. And I've seen some games recently that were released that are just like pure trash, but people are still buying them. So
yeah,
it's amazing. Days of Thunder was an NES game, regular Nintendo. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. And that was based on that Tom Cruise movie, right?
Yeah.
That basically was. Yeah.
Let's see, Mario Kart.
So, for Mario Kart, I mean, where do you think you got that?
Mario Kart was August 27th, 1992. So that was a regular Nintendo. That was original Nintendo.
And original Nintendo probably came out in. You said that was SNES?
What was the original Mario Kart called? Super Mario Kart 1992. No, it was for the SEN. It was Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, okay.
Yeah, in 1992.
In 92. Yeah. So, because in the original Nintendo, when did that come out? Like in 80...
80s. Yeah.
85?
Yeah, because there's
something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember it now.
Yeah, those boxes. Yeah. So what do you think? Where would you put Mario Kart in this tier ranking?
At the time, it was, top notch, legendary. But looking back at it now,
well, remember, put it all together as one.
Yeah,
I know it's hard, but
it's 30 years ago.
Nowadays, I mean, dude, people stream it on YouTube. I mean, I streamed it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I would put it at Epic myself. I think it opened the doors for a lot of stuff. It opened the door for racing games. It opened the door for combat. It opened the door for multiplayer stuff a lot more than some of them.
So do you think it's where based upon these three, would you put it on the top of it? Would you put that over Super Mario 3? Or in between?
I probably would. I would probably put it over Super Mario 3 in mine. Yeah.
All right.
Personally.
Yeah. I mean, this is for me. I guess the only reason why for me I would not put it into legendary is because it's although the most recent one is really, really good, but there's the replay value is there, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you're by yourself, it's not. I feel like it's the kind of game that I get bored with when I can't play with friends.
You have to play it with a group. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only issue I have. It's like, yes, you can buy car parts and you can get better parts, and I mean, I almost wish you could power your stuff up though, and then the single player replay value would be higher. Call of Duty. Like I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty, and Call of Duty. Yes, I'm playing online with people, but I don't play with people I know very often. Once in a while, but not much. But the replay value there is because I'm trying to power up every single gun, and yes, this becomes tedious, and it sometimes I just quit, and I'm like I've had enough of it. But at least there's an end goal, even though it's way down the road. Where in this kind of game, if you could power up, like again, I think of RC Program. Like this is why that game was so amazing when it first dropped, because yes, you couldn't save your stuff, but during the game, you're leveling up your tires, you're leveling up your acceleration, you're leveling all the stuff up, which kind of and it stinks that it never was. After the game was over, you had to start over. But that was like the right way to do it. I wish sometimes that's what the Mario Kart series would do.
Yeah.
Or let you design your own car, and then during races, then you would earn money or you earn stars or whatever you want to say, or coins, I guess. But
yeah, you would think that the newer ones would have you doing that stuff. With technology the way we have it, you'd think they would bring all that into it.
Yeah.
I guess they got a winning piece there without doing that. So,
yeah,
people are still buying it. People are still playing it. So why change something that's not broke?
True. But that's, I think you can say the same thing about like Madden football. Like I stopped playing Madden football like a decade ago because it's the same game every year. The only difference is that the players are updated, the graphics are updated, and there's that one little thing updated, and that's basically it. Yeah. But it's basically the same game over and over again.
Yeah, they just change a few things every year.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's an old game on Nintendo, right? The original Nintendo. It was called Baseball Stars, and it didn't have real players, which is why a lot of people never played it, because everyone wanted to play RBI baseball, because that was the game with all the real players. You ever play Baseball Stars?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about. So
it was more like backyard baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, but the best thing about that game is that after you win games, you could level up your players. So you can make yourself. You can make. I mean, I would make like I used to make all the Cleveland Indians, and then I would take my favorite players from other teams and throw them on my team. I would make myself in there, and then I would just power everybody. It did. It took a long time, but at least you were able to like see a progression of your team.
Yeah.
That's why I wish they would do with the Mario Kart game. If I was designing something, dude, I would say there's a bunch of different car parts, and you can just kind of put things. You can buy different pieces, put them on, and then you power up those pieces as well. And then when you're racing with friends, you got to work to like be able to beat me, because if my car is much better than yours, you should have no chance, even if your driving ability is better. But something like that. The replay value would be higher than I think. So
I think so. Yeah.
Definitely. All right. So now we got Super Mario Land, and this originally came out for Game Boy, But this has been released a couple different times on Game Boys, like the Game Boy Color and then Game Boy 3DS or whatever the heck they would call that. The only Game Boy I ever had was original.
Yeah, that's all I ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played this one on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget that I had that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nothing crazy. It was very, very similar to the original Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, it was Super Mario 1.
Basically. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was black and white on a small screen. But again, it did for Game Boy with, maybe not what Tetris did, but I know, like, I remember, like, these are Tetris and this and Tetris were the games I played the most on that Game Boy for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember anything else I had except for those two.
Yeah, I mean, I know at one point there was a Zelda that came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, that's such a long time ago. So, where would you rank this at? What do you think?
I'd personally good. I mean,
good or average? Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, it was top line. It was everyone wanted a Game Boy because that was the thing. And then that quickly faded. You could get add-ons for the Game Boy, like the magnifier and the light thing and all that stuff. But gameplay, it was all right.
I'm gonna bump this.
Something good for the car.
Yep. Yeah, like you said, it was basically like taking Super Mario Brothers and taking it onto a small screen, and so nothing crazy different.
No, it was just small screen, scroll, black and white. That was it. Yeah, it was smart on their part to do it because they already had the platform, they already had the game.
So I'm gonna put the next two together because I've never played the other one, and I don't really even know how to rank this. So this one is Mario. Was it the Mario? I don't know, Maker or something. So this game. There's a couple of different versions, and I know the second one people really like. And basically, you can make your own Mario levels, and then you can have friends play it. That is basically what it is. So you can create your own Mario levels, which if this came out when I was a kid, I would be all about it.
That would be cool.
It would be, and then I could make it. I could have my brother play it. Now I'm assuming you could probably do that and play it online. I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
but
that would get a lot of kids into programming and gaming, and building too.
Yeah. Being an adult, I don't know if I have the time to do that. And yeah. So I don't. Well, as a kid, I would love it though.
Yeah, I know you can do it on Fortnite. You can build your own game. They have a program where you can go through and do it, and that that blows my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple other things that I use for school that I can create. But the problem is it's so time consuming, and sometimes you don't realize how much room you have when you do something like this. And I like the one game I remember building was Excite Bike. You could build your own like course. Now that was fairly easy because again it is a side scrolling game, which so is Mario. But basically you're just creating jumps upon jumps upon jumps with some speed stuff and some mud. Where Mario is way more complicated than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't, like I said, I've never played it, so it's hard. And then this one is Paper Mario. I don't know much about it, to be honest with you. I know I've heard of it. I know it's designed like that. He looks like a piece of paper, so it's not. It's not 3D at all, like the character looking. But I have no idea what you even do in it.
No, not a clue either.
Yeah, so I don't really. It's hard to rank these two. I should have. I should have done. I should have put the meh. We should have made that. I wonder if I can still change that.
What's up, Umpty?
I can just do that.
Hey, buddy.
I can bump this guy up here.
Yeah.
But never played. Because I honestly have no idea how to rank that. Unless people in the chat, I'm not sure who's all in there. Hey, Umpty. those people in the chat have played it and they want to give their 2 cents of how they like that game. Because I don't really know how to rank those two because I never played them.
Yeah.
So
when you said Excite Bike, and it's got me thinking about Paperboy.
Paperboy, yeah, that was to try to throw it in the mailbox.
Avoid the dog. Yep.
So I'm gonna now that I was looking at the thing. So this is the last one I've never played either. This Mario RPG. I have no idea what it is even about.
Yeah.
I remember that game coming out, and I was like, Mario RPG. Like, I felt like it was gonna be like just like for kids. Like for some reason they wanted to get kids into an RPG type style game.
Yeah.
But again, I have no idea what it's even about. I've never played it, so I don't know.
Nah, me neither.
All right, we'll just move on then.
Right.
All right. So now we have Super Mario Odyssey, and you never played this. You said, right?
I've never even heard of this. So no.
Okay. For me, I think this is my favorite Mario game of all time. So for me, right away off the bat, this is legendary, and I wish they would make another Mario game like this. I wish they would make Odyssey 2. So this game, how can I explain this? Think of like maps on Call of Duty. Like, you play Call of Duty or at least seen it?
I've seen it. I've never played it.
Okay, so I mean, it's a lot different when you actually play it, but it's kind of that style map where walls are high. I don't know if you ever saw me play Star Wars Lego. I don't know if you ever watched me play that when I used to play that one.
Yeah.
But it's that style looking like everything's big. Everything you have to climb high, you have to go low, you have to figure out like almost, I don't want to say Zelda type secrets to open things up, but it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's just a different style Mario game. It is actually very similar to Mario 64 in the style, I guess. But this game, like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know if I still have it. I think I still have it because I know I love that game. I should seriously stream this. It is such a good game. And then what they did eventually is they made it online. So after people played it, you start memorizing the levels and where all the little hiding spots are and stuff.
Yeah.
So the way they did it for online play was you would pick what level you want to go into, and you would have to, one person has to plant a flag, and you can basically plant it anywhere. And then whoever you're playing against, that other person has X amount of time to go find your flag. It's pretty cool because then after you plant, I think what they do is they show you the other person playing, so you can see how they play and where they're searching and how they're getting there. Because the other thing with this game is that you have that you can kind of see that crazy little hat thing that he's throwing his hat. That hat is like, it's awesome. Like it changes the game, the way you can move and you can just get around the board so fast with that hat. It's a really, really good game though. But yeah, for me, it's my favorite Mario game I've ever played, and I'm dying for Mario Odyssey 2, which I can't believe they're not going to make at some point.
Yeah.
But it's that good. Like, it's a really fun game. So let's see what we have next. Oh, Mario. Well, okay, so we have the Mario Party series. So again, that started back in NES, and then it's basically been on every system since. Have you played Mario Party?
No.
You never played Mario Party?
Nope.
We should. You don't want to switch though. Dude, Mario Party would be a good one to stream. I think it'd be fun. So the way Mario Party's structured is, and again, it's evolved over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
But basically, it's like a board game. And you can have 4 people play. Each person picks a character, and you're basically rolling a dice, and you're basically just going through whatever type of board. There's a lot of different boards. Yeah, each game usually has between 5 and 6 levels that you could play, and they're harder based upon how hard it is to navigate the board because different things happen. Like there's action spots, and then something might happen where it blocks your path or it makes you return to a spot or something like that. But basically, each person rolls. Everyone gets a turn. There's power ups you can get throughout the game, and then at the end of everyone's turn, so like you would go, I would go, player C, player D, and then what will happen is after we all get our turn, then we all go into a mini game, and that's really where the fun is because the mini games some of these mini games are so good. There's one mini game that you have an ice cream cone, and you have all 4 players on this little island, right? And basically, you got to follow the shadows of ice cream dropping from the sky, and it's basically whoever can catch the most scoops. Like something that simple, it's caused so many fights in my house. There's another one called Mushroom Mix Up. That one you have to. There's I think there's like 7 different colored mushrooms that are just like up on a platform, I guess you can call it. And then what happens is there's a little shy guy in the corner who will put up a flag of that color. And then what you have to do is you have to jump to that part of the mushroom because all the other mushrooms will drop straight down into the water. And if you're stuck on one of those, you obviously lose. And you keep going and it goes faster and faster as you're playing. And again, it's just something so simple as you just got to jump to the color, but you can try to block people. Now, they don't give you like a block button, but you can jump and like try to like make the person hit you because you can't hit each other. So you try to block people off the mushrooms, and it's a really fun game. Even if not a huge fan of the actual board game aspect of it, because it does slow it down a little bit, but you can also do like mini game challenges where one is kind of like, the winner, the first person that gets 7 wins. And there's actually different little versions of games to play while you're playing the mini games. So it's fun when you can play with 4 people that enjoy it. And you want to try, it's a party game. It's a fun little party game. So, but for me, nice. Gosh, I can't believe you never played that one because the original came out. I'm pretty sure the original came out on. I'm trying to think. Mario. I know Mario Party 2 came out on. I know that was N64.
Yeah, I honestly have never played Nintendo 64 at all. No game.
You never played GoldenEye either?
Nope. I have never played a Nintendo 64 game at all. No matter what game it is, I've never played it.
Dude, GoldenEye was like the original and best first-person shooter. Like it took what Doom was kind of like it took what Doom is and just made it way better. It just, yeah, dude, GoldenEye is a great game. But as far as Super Mario Party, I'm gonna go with good on this one, and the only reason I'm gonna put it as good is just because, again, the single player replay value is not great. It's like you definitely want to play with 4 people. Like even playing with 2 people it's okay because you can have a computer play, but you know how that is. The computer's not very good. What would it take to make it epic? What would take it? Again, something where maybe you can buy clothes. Can I change my avatar? Can I purchase things? So then like when people play by themselves, then when you play as a team or when you play as a group, then you can change the way you look. Something simple like that, I think would give it a single player more replay value because it's just really, really there's not much single player replay value, I guess. Umpty said that Paper was pretty much just another version of the same scroller. Okay. Yes, and he loves the Mario Party. Dude's great. Oh yeah, there you go. I remember renting it at 64. Dude, the Zelda games on 64, some of the best. Like the one's called Majora's Mask, and the other one, what was the other one called? Arcania of Time, I think it was called. That game might be the best one, dude. The best Zelda game ever made. As much as these new ones are really, really good, that game was like the OG. It was awesome.
Nice.
All right. So what we got? We got like a few left here. All right. So okay. So we'll do this now, and we'll do the original Mario Brothers. So what do you think for this one? Obviously, side scroller, but just like do you remember like when you found the warp zones for your first time? Like how awesome was that? Like let's grab the game. Let's go. Dude, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I don't know. What do you think?
It was groundbreaking for sure. You know, it was one of the first ones to play like that. I mean, Atari had some stuff that was similar, but not at the same time. If that's possible.
Like Pitfall, right? But Pitfall was like I felt like it was the same thing over and over again. Just but that was like Pitfall was like one of the first side scrollers I remember playing.
Yeah, there was a Tarzan one too or something on Atari that was like that. That was side scroll. That was the thing though. But it was groundbreaking. I enjoyed it. I played a lot of it. It's been
I just remember
years, but yeah.
I just remember sitting around with friends and we played it so many times that when we got older and we would just do speed runs, dude. Like we would when we were beating that game under 5 minutes. Like you just knew what to do. Like you just knew the jumps, you knew where to go. You knew how. The hardest part was always that I want to say it was like world either 8-1 or 8-2. It might have been 8-1. And when you had that huge gap, and you had to jump over that huge gap, and you had that one little block that you had to land on, and then you had to do another huge jump. It was that part, and then also I think it was World 8. It might have been 8-2 or 8-3. I can't remember now. But the one with the double hammer brothers, when they're both they're stacked, and you have to try to get through them, and I would say you hardly ever even have. I don't think there's any mushrooms on that, so you're small every time. So like it's like almost like I don't want to say luck because there's obviously patterns in that game. But I remember when you got to that point and you're just like, I just got to get past this and I'm probably gonna beat this game. Because once you got past that, it was pretty much not guaranteed. Because I mean you still had to get through Bowser and all that stuff at the end. And and then now it was a whole maze too. It's kind of crazy. How do we even know that? I guess Nintendo power. I don't know, man. I don't even know how I learned it. The pattern on the last level where you had to go through the different pipes. Some pipes sent you back to the beginning. Remember all that? It's crazy, dude. For me, I would put this under legendary, just because I think it was so groundbreaking, and if it wasn't for this, we wouldn't have everything else on this list.
I agree.
Okay, so I would say I probably put it here. Because again, for me, Odyssey is like the best Mario game ever made. But the next one is basically the same thing, but this is the Lost levels. So this was like the same game, but it was just different levels. So nothing groundbreaking. I never spent much time with this game. I remember playing it, but I didn't really ever do much because the original was so much better. Just because. I don't know. There was something off with this game, and you could tell that it was like an afterthought. And I think they were just trying to like double down on this game here.
They were just trying to get the cash,
Yeah. So I mean, I would say it was just average. I mean, it was definitely nothing better than what we have there. So all right, now and we did talk about this a little earlier. Super Mario 2. So this is the one. This is the first game where you're able to be a different character. So you're able to be Luigi with the crazy jump legs, or you're able to. Toad used to be able to pick up the fruit super fast, and then which is always strange. Like why do they always make Toad like the super powered guy? It's kind of always kind of strange. But I don't know. What do you think? Where would you stack Mario 2, which
Mario
I
2.
think it definitely improved upon the first one as far as graphics. That's for sure, because the graphics were much better.
Yeah, but playability, Mario 2 for me would be good. I didn't enjoy it as much as Mario 1, and I sure as heck didn't enjoy it as much as Mario 3. It was just kind of, it's like a movie sequel. The first one was a banger, and the second one's like, eh. And then maybe part 3 is like, all right, okay, we're back into this.
Yeah, right.
You know?
So
I put it on good. That we where I would put it.
All right, so we'll put it. I'm gonna put it here. I'll put it right behind Party. The only reason why I put it behind Party is because I still play Party. And Mario 2, dude, I can't remember the last time I turned that game on. But that is a good game. I mean, the whales, and then I think weren't the whale holes, weren't those like the warp zones or something?
Yeah, I think so.
I would, I wouldn't mind revisiting Mario 2. It's been such a long time since I played that.
It's been over 30 years for me, so yeah.
Yeah. All right, now we have Super Mario World. So this was your first drop after Mario 3.
Yeah.
And this was on Super Nintendo. So the graphics improved. We got introduced to Yoshi, which is just one of the most iconic characters in Mario. We got the cape. So that was a build upon the raccoon tail. Because remember, the raccoon tail, you could float and fly a little bit, but you couldn't stay up. The cape, you could use the cape the entire level. And if you knew how to fly it, you never had to do anything. Like you could just use the cape. It was kind of crazy. Now, granted, you would skip out the stuff you need to collect, but technically you could just use the cape on most of those levels. I remember many times using the cape just to skip things that I'm like, hey, I don't want to deal with this. Like, especially, I think was that the game with the pirate ships. I think this is the game with they. I'm trying to think. I don't remember. I want to say that's the one, or that might have been Super Mario 3 actually. Maybe it was Super Mario 3 what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But the other thing with Super Mario World is that what I remember the most is the music. The music, it was amazing. Like I remember, like you would go into like a cavern, right, where you would have like the Beetle Bill guys, the little not Beetle Bill, what are they called? Little beetle guys, or whatever they're called, the little beetle dudes. But you would be able to you go in there and you can hear the echo of the music because you're in a tunnel. It was so good. I remember that. The Super Nintendo did a really good job with their music because I remember Final Fantasy. The original Final Fantasy was on Nintendo, and then when we got the second version on, or maybe it was the third version. I don't know. It was one. I think it was probably second. On Super Nintendo, the music itself was made the game. So for Super Mario World, for me, I mean, it took what we love about the original 3 and just made it way better, and the game longer, and it was just awesome. So for me, it would definitely be in legendary status for that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And personally, I like that we were introduced to Yoshi. He is the Jar Jar Binks of Super Mario.
The Jar Jar Binks of Super Mario. There you go. Yeah. If you didn't hear, Jar Jar is actually running for president, and I heard Yoshi might be his, his running mate.
They got my vote. Can't do much worse. They got my vote.
Next one is Super Mario Sunshine, and I believe this was the first one, this first Mario game that came out on the Wii, and this definitely incorporated some new styles. Again, it took some stuff from like Super Mario 64. And it just made it maybe not better, but it made it more crisp and clean. And like I remember these boards on here, like you would have to, you're right. It's a side scroller, but then the boards would move and turn. So it wasn't really a side scroller. It looked like that when you start playing, but then everything would move. And they definitely did it. I think they did a really good job with this game, and this game was fun. In this one, you had to it's been such a long time now. I can't even remember what the superpowers were, but there was different things. I know you could like fly through the sky and stuff, and there was something with the sun as well, obviously, because it being called Sunshine. I think this is the game I think this is the game where you had to. There's something with water too. There's something with water in this game. I think, if I remember correctly, it's either that or it was. No, it wasn't Galaxy. It's funny how they do. They say they start like they start like blending together. If I remember correctly, though, I think so. This game, see, it's hard. It's hard because you never played 64 because it definitely took It took Mario 64, and instead of being what's the good word to put it? Like it wasn't. I feel like the levels were not as large as Mario 64, but the levels were it was similar, but I don't want to say multi-leveled because Mario 64 was multi-leveled, but I don't know. Like it's very, let's just put it this way, it's very similar to 64. They just put more into it, I guess. It's hard to explain because it is very similar to 64 because they knew that 64 was so good, and remember Wii came out after 64, so
yeah.
Oh, actually no, it didn't. It was game. Or actually, you know what? Wait. You know,
GameCube.
Yeah, you're right. I'm skipping GameCube. Sunshine was for GameCube. That's what it was for. That's right. I'm pretty sure Sunshine. Yeah, because then Galaxy was for the Switch or for the Wii, and then
I've never played a GameCube game either. Anything.
Yeah. Sunshine. So Sunshine was because remember Luigi's Mansion came out for GameCube too. That was like one of that game kind of dropped with the system, and then Sunshine was the Mario version.
That one's still worth a pretty good penny if you can get a good one. Luigi's Mansion doesn't even have to be sealed. I've sold a couple of those.
When I was researching these games, I'm like, I couldn't even. I didn't realize there was like 4 versions of that game. There was like Luigi's Mansion 1, 2, 3, 4. I only played the first one. I didn't even realize there was that many versions of it.
Yeah. I don't know how much bigger my mansion can get, but
yeah, right. Mm-hmm. What was kind of cool is you had a vacuum cleaner, and you just basically went around and grabbed the ghost and stuff like that. But Sunshine, I'm gonna put under epic, probably toward the end of it because it would be like borderline epic good because it was a really good game. And like I said, it took my second favorite Mario game and just elaborated on it. And again, the replay value maybe isn't there like it is in some of these other Mario games. I would say it's the lowest replay value on the epic tier here. Because again, it's once you beat it, you're like, okay. But like Mario 64, dude, I've played and played and played and played over and over again. So like I hit since we're talking about it, we'll take Mario 64 next. I mean, this game, to me was groundbreaking. Like beside Odyssey, it's definitely the best game. Odyssey is like Mario 64 on crack, basically. But Mario 64, dude, if you ever have a chance to grab a N64, dude, this game is worth it alone just to play. It's that good. Like I said, it's the first third-person Mario, and I think from people going from Super Mario World and Super Mario 3, and we got that. It was like, what in the world? Like, again, it was like running around like in Fortnite, but you're being Mario and you're killing Goombas, and yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff in that game. It's gotta be one of the best. Yeah. Let's see. We got 2 left. So the newest one is Super Mario Wonder. I'm enjoying the game. I guess my only issue with the game is that it's not that it's not hard. It's just that it's hard it's hard because of the one level. Because I mean, honestly, the one level I got stuck on for days and days. But beside that, I've pretty much have blown through the game whenever I play it. So I mean, it's not overly challenging, and it's very, very similar to like your Mario 3 Super Mario World game style. Obviously, there's different, there's different costumes, or whatever you want to call it, power ups that you get. The elephant's fun. There's a couple other ones too, but overall, I mean, it's good for what it is. And for me, I probably would put this. Again, I would probably put it somewhere in the front of good, maybe something like that, somewhere in there. Because again, when I beat it, I'm not gonna play it again. Now, unfortunately, I did buy it on the Switch as a digital download, so I will have it forever. Which I usually don't buy Mario games like that, but I could not find it around me when it dropped, so I just bought it like that because I wanted to play it. So, but if I wouldn't have done that, I would have sold it afterwards. So, and then the last one here is Super Mario Galaxy 2. So Super Mario Galaxy 2 is probably my third favorite Mario game because what it did is it took the other Galaxy game, and again, it just built upon it. And this game, the final section of the game, is so difficult. It's so difficult. It makes it fun, but it makes it frustrating because it's got to be perfect. You have to have a perfect run to beat this game. And I remember not playing it for like a month and a half because I just couldn't do it. And then I remember my brother calling me saying that he finally beat it. And then that kind of remotivated me to get back in there and try to beat that thing. And I did. But it is really, again, it's taking that aspect of like the little small, like little planets and just blowing it up. And not then you didn't have there was definitely those planets you had to go on, but there's bigger levels, but like gravity always played a part in this, which it just allowed you to like do things in a game that like you never thought you could do in a Mario game, like as far as like just floating around, like and being able to find these different secrets because like you could just float. It's kind of crazy, but it's a really good game too. So yeah, that's our tier list. So I think you need to play the top three. It's somehow, some way, which stinks because one's a Wii, one's N64, and one's a Switch. But actually, it's kind of funny if you look at it though. We have
there's one from each.
Yeah, the only one that we don't have one up there from is Sunshine. Sunshine was the GameCube one because again, I don't think it didn't bring anything super new. A couple things here and there, better graphics. But N64 Mario is way better still. It's still much better of a game. But yeah, it is kind of funny. So, no.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you hanging out today. I was going to play Mario. I was going to play Wonder, but I think I'm going to take a break because I think we're doing a live. We're watching Liverpool, the Liverpool game. We're doing a watch party with Ryan Milkey. So we'll be heading over to his channel here in a little bit.
In a little bit, yeah, we'll be over there. I got to get a couple puzzle pieces cut for a lady. She's coming to get them this afternoon, so
cool.
Won't take long. But I got to get those cut. So,
all right,
but yeah,
all right, guys.
Fun.
Well, so something different. I wanted to do something for Mario because I think Mario, Zelda. I mean, those are probably two of the biggest games of our generation. That I think that people nowadays, I think kids take for granted because they're so into Fortnite, they're so into Roblox, they're so into all these other little games, but they don't understand that if it wasn't for Mario games and Zelda games, you wouldn't even have those other games. And I think those two franchises are the building blocks of what video games are now. Yeah. And not to say there's not others, because there's definitely others. I mean, think about like Street Fighter and the original Mortal Kombat. Like you don't have those games. You're probably not having all of these other crazy games now with these. Like it's funny, man. When I go to an arcade and I see these guys playing, freaking guys the size of the screen, and the graphics are amazing, Yeah. But then again, you can also go back. You can go back to like even Pac-Man. You can go back down even Pitfall. Think about Pitfall, dude. Pitfall was one of the first side-scrolling games. That is what Mario just took that side scroller and just blew it up. So, but
definitely.
All right, brother. I'll see you in a little bit over there. And
all right.
Thanks for watching the video, everybody.
Yep.
If you watch on the replay, let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite Super Mario Brother game? All right, for Charles, I'm Headless. You guys have a great day. I'll be back live 10:15 tonight. With I'm sorry. I was about to say The Walking Dead. The Ones Who Live, episode 3. I'm actually going to watch that. I may go, what time is it? I don't have time to watch before the live, but I'm going to watch it right after the live. So, pumped for this episode, brother.
All right. Yeah, me too.
All right, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you.